So we will now first look into the browser commands. Okay, so I have my class here, and then I will keep the top 4 lines, and then I will remove the remaining lines. And then instead of this, I'll use google.com this time. If I don't use HTTPS, will it work, guys? If I don't use HTTPS, will it work?
I'm guessing it will not work.
It will not work, yeah?
Yeah.
What you will get then?
Some exception.
Yeah. So if I don't use HTTPS, I'll get WebDriver exception.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a common question they ask. Let's see. Exception in thread main, invalid argument exception. Okay. It's not WebDriver exception now. Okay, so it's invalid argument exception. Usually we write HTTPS, but if we don't write, then we will get exception. And if I don't write www, then will it work or not? It will work. If I don't write www, it will work. There is no issue with this string. Yeah. So now our first command was driver dot get, right? So first was get. So with get, what we do, we pass the arguments. Argument as in your URL, and that should be prefixed with HTTP or HTTPS, right? And what it does, description of this is, it opens a specified URL in the browser window. Okay. So your syntax would be driver.get followed by your URL. Simple, right? We have seen this multiple times. Second is your get title. Okay. What it returns? It returns the current window URL. It returns the current window title, not URL title. The syntax for this is driver dot get title. Okay, and then this would return a string value, right? Because title is a string value, so you can store this in a string variable, and then you can print that string variable. Okay. The next one is get current URL. Okay, so this returns the current window URL. Current URL of browser window. syntax for this is again driver dot get current URL, and this will also return you a string. So you will have to save that in a string variable. So string well, and that you can print. Okay. Next, your next browser command is get window handle. This will return you returns the handle of current window. Handle as in the ID, I would say the ID of the instance of the current window. And syntax for this is driver dot get window handle, and this also returns me a string. So I will have to save this in a string and then I can print that. Okay, we will see all those four now. Okay, so okay, so I am launching www.google.com. Now let's try with driver dot get title. Okay, and title title, and then I will in system.out.println I will print the title is plus title. Okay, next is driver dot get current URL. So get current URL, and this also I will save in URL. Let's say system.out.println, then the current URL is plus URL. Next is string win handle, driver dot get window handle. Okay, and this would be a string, and this also I will print on the console. The current window handle is plus win handle. Simple, right? Understandable. Let's run this. Okay, so the title is Google, the URL is https www.google.com, and the current window handle is a long string. Yeah, simple, right, guys?
Yeah, Nitin.
Nitin, just the current window handle.
Mhm.
No, just go into this console.
Hmm.
In output, yeah. So this CD window something something.
Hmm.
What we call it as? Is it IP address or something, or
No, this is not IP address. This you can consider as ID of the window.
ID of the window?
Yeah, ID. I mean, it is having some identification, right? I mean, when browser is opening that window, uh, there has to be some identification of that, right? That the name of the window or the ID of window, whatever they call.
Correct.
Yeah. So to do further operations in terms of handling multiple windows, you should know how to switch from one window to other window, and that is why they have given this method, right? And this method actually returns you the ID of the window.
So this is a basically ID.
Yeah, this is basically ID, and this is a long string. Yeah. Siddharth, understandable, right?
Yes, Nitin.
Okay, fine. Moving on, we will now talk about the navigate commands. So next one is navigate to. Navigate dot to. So it loads new page in current window. Okay, and syntax for this is driver dot navigate dot to, and then here you have to pass the URL. Okay. And then next is your navigate back. Navigate description for this is it moves a single item back. It moves a single item back in browser history. Syntax is just driver dot navigate dot back. Next is your navigate dot forward. Okay, so this will it moves a single item forward in browser history. Okay. Next is your navigate dot refresh. This will refresh your browser. It will refresh your browser window. What we do using F5, right? It will do that. And the next browser command is close. It closes the focused browser window. And then next is quit. Driver dot quit. It closes all the browser windows opened by Selenium. All browser that are opened by Selenium. Selenium WebDriver during execution. Okay, so this is again a frequent asked interview question. What is the difference between driver.close and driver.quit? Okay, so close as in closing only one the current window. So you can remember in a way that close starts from C and current window also starts from C, right? So close the current window, and quit will quit all the windows which are opened by browser Selenium WebDriver. Okay, now moving back to your script. So so we were here, right? Driver.get. Now what we will do, we will use driver.navigate dot to. Okay, so this will here, let's say I am giving facebook.com. Okay, and once I move to facebook.com, I will I want to move back. Driver dot navigate dot to, not to back. Okay, this will again I will move back to my google.com, and after that I want to move forward. So dot forward, and then I will, let's say I'm saying driver dot navigate dot refresh. So I am refreshing my browser. And what else I have discussed? To, back, forward, refresh, close, and quit. So quit and close. So quit we will have to open another window, right? So let's see, I'm showing here you close. Quit I will show you after some time. So my current I'm currently on the Google page, and then I navigated to Facebook, and here let's say I am getting what is my current URL. So driver dot get current URL. Okay, and here I am also checking what is my current URL. Driver dot get current URL. Here also I am checking what is my current URL. Let's say this time checking the title of a page. Okay, and then refreshed, right? And here I am just writing that page got refreshed. So if this command does not work, then it will throw exception. If it is working, then it will move to this, and then driver dot close. Let's comment this line, and then let's try. Okay, any confusion here? It's pretty simple. Disha, Sitara, Naresh.
No confusion with it.
No
Okay,
confusion.
Yeah.
all right. So first I went to this Google, and then Facebook, and then yeah, it is so fast, right? So first google.com was opened, then it navigated to facebook.com, got the current URL facebook.com, then it navigated back and moved to google.com, got the current URL google.com, then it navigated forward, right? And I got the title of the page, right? Facebook login or sign up. Then it was refreshed, and then I got page got refreshed. Okay, clear, right? Okay, so next is your what is that page source? What else is there? Navigated to return browser page source window handle focused back forward refresh minimize maximize browser and full window, and then copy browser URL. So these 3-4 are pending. Okay, so page source, that will return the source of the page source. Page source as in, you can see the page source here, right? This is the source of the page. So you can get this as output using that command. So driver dot page source, it gives or it returns the page source. Okay, the syntax for this would be driver dot get page source or just page source. What is that? Get page source. Next command is to minimize or maximize your browser. So browser URL page source window under focus. So next command is minimize or maximize your browser. So that you can do using. So it will actually minimize your browser if it is already maximized, or if it will maximize your browser if it is already minimized. And for that we will use driver.manage.windows.maximize, or driver.manage.windows.minimize. Okay. Your next is browser in full screen. So for that, what command we have? Let me check. Driver.get full screen, right? Full screen. What is the command for that? I will have to check. I will just check and let you know. Then copy browser URL. Okay, for that we can just just skip these commands for now. We will see after some time. Your next command is, okay, first we will see these two commands and then we will move forward. So okay, implicit wait, then I am moving to google.com and then driver.get page source, and this would be a string value, so I will have to save this in a page source, and I will have to store this in a string and then print that plus page. Okay, and then let's say after this I am minimizing by window, so driver dot manage dot window dot for full screen we have. So this is your full screen, and for minimizing manage dot window dot okay, I think there is no method. I will have to check for minimizing the window, but for full screen we are getting here. Okay, so let's try this. Yeah, can you see the full screen?
Yeah, full screen.
And this is the page source I'm getting on a console. Yeah. Any confusion here?
No.
Okay. So quickly make a note of these commands.